Get it.
Get what?
This.
This what?
Social contract theory.
What don't you get?
How does this make any sense at all? I mean, I understand where the ideology comes from, but this study guide asks how people have expanded on the philosophy since it's put in such broad terms.
Well, there's this guy. He's the head of the Department of Philosophy at Northwestern, Professor Charles W. Mills.
Oh, I get it now.
Great.
No, you dork, I was kidding. What the heck does this have to do with anything? Why do I care about Chuck Mills?
'Cause his book, The Racial Contract. The book is pretty much a 200-page statement declaring that at the core of social contract lies racism. It is embedded in the roots of our government and is something that we simply need to be aware of.
Critical
Race?
Theory! As great as these lines are, let's go write the Constitution, Thomas Jefferson. Critical race theory presumes that the entire Constitution is based on an entirely racist hierarchy.
This theory explores the abuses of white supremacy that dates back centuries.
For example, the founders of our country, being white Christian males, created the Constitution to preserve the already existing white hierarchy.
The founders of the Constitution formed an unfair social contract to which all of its citizens are inherently bound.
This is the premise under which the followers of critical race theory take legal action.
Promoters of critical race theory shy away from liberalism's passive colorblind approach, and they rather suggest a more race-conscious active effort.
This is seen in the Supreme Court case of R.A.B. versus the City of St. Paul. Here, the supporters of critical race theory focus intently on the issues of hate crime and hate speech. The Supreme Court overturned an ordinance set out by the City of St. Paul, which prohibited generalities regarding hate crime and hate speech. The Supreme Court reasoned that the ordinance set out by the courts of Minnesota was vague and infringed upon the First Amendment rights.
Why?
Because it was completely ignorant to racism's heavy prevalence in our nation's history and the constitutional biases against non-whites. Sorry for the dry humor.
Check out what I found. These support two of the aforementioned theories within CRT. Firstly, this asserts CRT's philosophy that racism is inherent and ingrained in any social contract. The theorists claim that the Supreme Court powers, which are based on and support the Constitution, are limited to further preserve the white privilege. Because the Supreme Court bases all of its decisions on the grounds of a racist doctrine, its rulings must be in turn racist as well. Secondly, it is asserting that in order to counteract the bias, we need to be conscious of race and inequality. We cannot be colorblind because this further ingrains white privilege and will result in an ineffective, inactive social reconstruction.
I gotta go change now. Okay.
Hey guys, it's me, Than from Oberlin.